And that's called the 12 areas of balance. Okay, so it says Lisa Williams, my mistake, it's supposed to be Lisa Nichols, said this yesterday: a Pyrrhic victory is not okay. It's when the cost of the victory outweighs the victor herself. What she was talking about is how many entrepreneurs may be making great money, may have great companies, but they suck as parents, or they suck as lovers, or they are completely blowing it with their friends. This is a guy, John Butcher, he's 48 years old, who's an entrepreneur who I believe is setting a new example. I had the pleasure of meeting John a couple of months back. John runs a company called Precious Moments. They make little figurative dolls. They're sold in Hallmark stores. Precious Moments does several $1 billion in sales annually. John is 48 years old, but he doesn't look 48. He looks like 35. He has an amazing relationship with his wife, amazing relationship with his children. He is, in fact, a grandfather. He has a six-pack abs. And John is the most well-balanced man I've ever come across. John started a concept called life booking. He would basically take a book, and in that book, he would divide his life into 12 areas, and then he would create a vision for every single area of his life. You know, some of you guys have a vision board. That's cool. But this is like having 12 vision boards for 12 different areas of your life. And as a result, John has managed to create this amazing life. He lives in one of the most beautiful houses I've ever been in. And I've been to Richard Branson's home. John's house is unbelievable. For several months every year, he takes his entire family, his kids and his grandkids, and they live in a paradise location around the world. He just spent several months living in Bali. In a couple of months, he's going to go live in Cairo. He has the most loving relationship with his wife. His businesses bring in billions, with a B, billions of dollars every year. And he's in a prime state of health. He doesn't intend to die till he's 100 at least. Now, what I want to share with you is the 12 categories that John identified. And I want you to think about how, if you are really creating a vision for yourself in these 12 categories. Okay, so let's recap. We've talked about flow. We've talked about the importance of being happy in the now. We've talked about embodiment practices. Now we're talking about a vision for the future. And what we're talking about is how to create a really big, broad vision. Okay, so here are the 12 categories. You want to write this down. Now, the first one is health and fitness. We all know this. Lots of you have health and fitness as a category. The second one is your intellectual life. A lot of people forget this. Your intellectual life is how much are you learning? How much are you growing? How much control do you have of your mind and your daily thoughts? How positive or optimistic are you? How many seminars do you intend to attend in the next couple of years? Then there's your emotional life. This is really emotional intelligence. How are you able to bounce back from adversity? How good are you at being able to control your anger? How often are you in a state of bliss? Then there's your character. What values do you want to demonstrate to the world? What type of integrity and ethics do you want to bring into your marketplace or your business? There's spiritual life. How many times a day do you meditate or pray? What type of spiritual values do you believe in? How much time do you spend engaged in spiritual practices? How many spiritual books are you reading? Then there's your love relationship. What does your love relationship look like? What do you do with the love of your life? Where do you travel together? How do you relate to each other in your relationship? How much time do you spend with each other? How do you make him or her feel? There's your parenting vision. This is, again, very important. How many of you here have kids? Raise your hand. Wow, the majority of you. What type of values do you want to endow onto your kids? How much time do you want to spend with your kids? What type of personality traits? What do you want to teach your children? How do you want to raise your children? Then there's your social life. This is something else that people forget. Who are your top friends? Who are the people whom you're closest to? How much time a month do you want to devote to spending with your friends? What type of social life do you want to lead? What are your weekends with your friends going to look like? How many friends, close personal friends, do you have around the world? Then there's your financial life. And this is different from your career. Your financial life would be, what type of assets do you own? What type of income are you earning passively on a monthly basis? What type of salary are you earning? How much cash liquidity do you have? How much property do you own? And then there's the career. Your career is what you're spending basically 40 to 60 hours a week engaged in. It doesn't matter whether you're a housewife or you are a plumber or you're an entrepreneur. Your career is what you do that's part of your mission, your work. So what are your visions for your career? What level of competency do you want to get at? How good do you want to be at what you do? Are you aiming for world class? How much time do you spend on your career? How much do you enjoy your career? And then there's your quality of life. This is something else that people quite forget. Quality of life is basically your surroundings. Before I met John, I'd totally forgotten about adding quality of life to my vision. So I had a great deal of money, I had an amazing career, I had wonderful relationships with my friends and my family, but I lived in just a really bad apartment. It wasn't inspiring, it was just completely messy. And then I realized how important it was to really create a vision of what I wanted my workplace to look like and my home to look like. And that's what quality life is about. Then finally, there's your life vision. What is the mark that you want to leave to the world? Okay, so these are the 12 categories I want you to think about. Now, different people use these in different ways. So John has life booking, right? I use a similar technique. I use a little notebook, something like this. And on this notebook, I divide it into these 12 categories. And on the right-hand page, let's say this is quality of life. On the right-hand page, I write down my vision for quality of life. So I'll write down something such as, I own a beautiful condo in the center of the city. It's 3,400 square feet. It is extremely awe-inspiring, and I love being at home. Okay, that is my vision. On this page, I write down what I'm grateful for, little things that have happened in my life that let me know that I'm about to attain this vision. So I might write down, I already own an apartment, which to me is appreciating the fact that I'm already a homeowner. Or I have a good taste in aesthetics, which to me is appreciating the fact that I know how I'm going to decorate this home. Okay, so again, here's what you're grateful for, here's what you want. A lot of people just write down what they want, but when you start writing down what you're grateful for right now, it helps build up that reservoir of faith, and it helps what you want come to you a lot quicker. Okay, but the key again is balance, doing this in all 12 categories. So here's a quote I love. I love this quote. It's from the book The Alchemist. There's one great truth, whoever you are or whatever you do. When you really want something, that desire originated in the soul of the universe. It's your mission on earth. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it. By Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. Beautiful quote, and it's really true. But I found that most people I talk to, when I ask them, what's your bucket list or what's your grand vision? They don't know. It's like you have this big friend, the universe ready to conspire with you, but you just don't ask for anything. And that's why this exercise that I just shared with you is so important. 12 categories of your life. Go batshit crazy. Come up with like 20, 30, 40 things you want in these categories. So your co-conspirator can start moving them into your path. Okay?